Welcome student. Today I am going to discuss some questions answer from JAM 2016, mainly the inorganic chemistry uh, uh, portions. Okay. Now question number 5. The crystal field stabilizing energy that CFAC in manganese H2 whole 6 2 plus is. So manganese 2 plus means Mn2 plus. It's a high spin complex and the 5 electron. So if we see the T2G and then EG, this is T2G and EG level, then have 1 2 3 4 5. So we know that T2G is stabilized by minus 4 delta 0 and it stabilized by plus 6 delta 0 value. So CFSE will be minus 4 into 3 plus 6 into 2 delta 0 means minus 12 plus 12 delta 0, so 0. So option number A is the right answer, and there is no questions about the pairing energy here because it is a weak ligand and high spin complex. So the electron will be distributed in this manner and the CFEC will be 0 delta 0 value. Okay. Next question number 6. Indicator that is used in redox reaction is A. Erichrome black tea, B. methyl orange, C. phenolphthalein, D. methylene blue. We know that Erichrome black tea used in complex symmetric titration and methyl orange and phenolphthalein both in the acid base titration. So option number D is methylene blue, which changes the color from blue to colorless. Okay. Now among the compound that has lowest degree of ionic character is. Question number 7. We know that ionic character of any compound depends on the electronegativity difference between two ions. So here as much as the difference in the electronegativity, the compound will be more ionic in nature. Okay, so amongst these 4 option, that is NaCl, MgCl2, LCl3, CaCl2, the electronegativity difference between cation and anion is least for AlCl3. So it has lowest degree of ionic character and more covalent character. Okay, so option number C is the correct. Okay, the next question is question number 17. The true statement about copper H2 whole 6, okay, 2 plus is option number A. All copper oxygen bond lengths are equal. One copper oxygen bond length is shorter than the remaining 5. Option number C. 3 copper oxygen bond lengths are shorter than the remaining 3. Option number D. 4 copper oxygen bond lengths are shorter than the remaining 2. Alright, copper H2O hexa aqua complex whole 6 2 plus. Okay, we know that copper, the valence electron configurations is 3d10 and 4s1. So copper 2 plus means 3d 9. 3d 9 means here T2g d orbital, if it splits T2g and Eg for octahedral complex, then d orbital split into T2g and Eg, then it will be T2g 6 Eg 3, means Eg orbital means d x square minus y square, dx square minus y square, and dz square. So either 2 electron in dx square minus y square and 1 in dz square, or 2 electron in dz square and 1 electron in dx square minus y square. So Eg orbital is unsymmetrically filled up. So when Eg orbital and T2g orbitals are unsymmetrically filled up, they do not feel same kind of repulsive or attractive force towards the ligand, incoming ligand, especially Eg orbital, as we know that Eg orbital directly interact with the ligand because of its orientation, so it directly interacts with the ligands. So if the Eg orbitals are unsymmetrically filled up, the degeneracy of Eg orbital will be destroyed. Okay, degeneracy will be removed, and Eg and T2g orbital will split again, which is called the John Taylor distortion. And for copper 2+ for D9 system, tetragonal elongation happens, means Eg orbital and T2g orbital will split further. Okay, it will like that. For copper 2+, dz square will be lower in energy and dx square minus y square will have higher in energy. Then here dxy, and here also dxz and dyz, and this is z out fashion. And for z out fashion, tetragonal elongation happens. So in z out x square fashion, minus y square, okay, ligand, that's why this CuO bond, this CuO bond is more longer than these 4 CuO bond. So if copper 2+ center is there, then here this is the dx square minus y square orbital, okay, and OH2, 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 and here OH2 and OH2. And for tetragonal elongations or z out fashion, dz square orbital will have lower energy than dx square minus y square. So 2 electrons will be placed in dz square orbital and 1 in dx square minus y square. So here more repulsions will be there. That's why elongation of bond along dz square orbital will be more for the ligand than dx square minus y square. Okay, that's why this CuO bond is more longer than these 4 CuO bond. Number D will be the correct option, where 4 copper O bonds length are shorter than the remaining 2. Okay, next question is question number 18. The complexes PT CnH4 2- and nickel Cl4 2- respectively are paramagnetic, diamagnetic. Option number C, paramagnetic, diamagnetic, and option number D, diamagnetic or paramagnetic. Okay, so So both platinum and nickel, they are both in here, plus 2 oxidation state, and we know for nickel it's 3d8 and for platinum it's 5d8. And we know that as we go down the groove for transition metal element, the platinum will form always strong complex or low spin complex with all ligand, okay, irrespective of the nature of the ligand, okay. And here platinum is there and also strong field ligand cyanide there, so it is a strong complex and low spin complex, okay. Now here, so it forms the square planar complex because 4 ligands are there. Here for nickel tetrachloride 2 minus, chlorine is a weak field ligand, and 3d transition metal element, okay, apart from cobalt plus 3 state, all will form high spin complex and weak field complex or high spin complex with chlorine, okay. So nickel form the high spin complex with 4 chloride ligand and it will form a tetrahedral complex. So this is square planar complex and this is square planar and this is tetrahedral complex. And the electronic, so for nickel 2 plus NiCl4, okay, NiCl4 2 minus, as it is a tetrahedral complex, then what will happen? Then d orbital one, two, three, four, 5, okay, 5 sublabels are there, so d orbital will split in that manner. E and T2. E 2 orbitals and T2 is triply degenerate and E is doubly degenerate. So as it is a high spin complex, so 1 electron will be filling each orbital, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So 2 unpaired electrons are there in T2 orbital. So nickel Cl4 2 minus is paramagnetic in nature, and for platinum it forms square planar complex, and for Pt Cn whole 4 2 minus, okay, whole 4 2 minus, it is a square planar complex. So square planar complex, for square planar complex, how it happens? As ligands are basically approached along xy plane, so xy, the orbitals in the xy plane will be having more energy than the other orbitals, so like that. First T2g, so here like dx square minus y square Eg will split further, and dz square here dxy will have more energy than dz square and dxz and dyz, okay. So as it forms strong complex, so electron will feel like that. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So all electrons are paired up, so it is diamagnetic in nature. So here the option number D is the correct option, that PT CnR2 minus is diamagnetic in character and nickel Cl4 minus is paramagnetic in. Now question number 19. The value of X in copper CuR whole X plus such that it obeys the 18 electron rule. Okay. We know that for transition metal complex, if when it forms complex, if the total number of valence electron around the central metal atom is 18, then that complex is considered as the most stable complex. Now the options are the A is 6, B 5, C 4 and D 3. Okay. The complex is copper CuR carbonyl groups whole X plus. So copper plus contributes 10 electrons and each carbonyl group contributes 2 electrons, we know. So if there are X numbers of carbonyl groups, then X number of carbonyl groups will contribute 2 into X electrons. And if it has to follow the 18 electron rules, then 10 plus 2 into X electrons will be equals to the 18 electrons. So X is the number of carbonyl groups are 18 minus 10 by 2, means 8 by 2 4. So the number of carbonyl groups will be 4. The option number C is the correct option. Next question, question number 21. The red color of ruby is due to, okay, option number A, DD transition of chromium 3 plus ion in Cr2O3 lattice. Option number B, DD transition of Cr3 plus ion in Al2O3 lattice. Option number C, ligand to metal charge transfer transition. Option number D, metal to ligand, metal to metal charge transfer transition. We all know that ruby is a lattice of Al2O3, corundum. Okay, and also the color we see due to the presence of chromium oxide, chromium 3 oxide, Cr2O3. Okay, chromium 3 oxide in ruby. So, and due to the DD transition, because chromium 3 plus, it has 3 electron in d orbital. Okay, so due to the DD transitions of the electrons present in d orbital of chromium 3 plus ion, we see the color in the lattice of Al2O3. So option number B is the correct option. Okay, next question is question number 22. The final product in the reactions of BF3 with water are option number A, BOH whole 3 orthoboric acid and OF2. Option B, H3BO3 and HBF4, means BOH whole 3 and HBF4. Option C, B2O3 and HBF4. Option D is B2H6 and HF. So you know that when BF3 react with water, it forms BOH whole 3 plus HbF4. So put here 3 H gone here, 3 remaining there. Okay, 3 into 2 6 H are there. So here you put 3. Okay, here you put 3. So you need B, 1B here, 3B here. So here you put 4. So the reaction is 4BF3 plus 3H2O is equals to BOH whole 3 plus 3HBF4. So option number B is the correct option. H3BO3 or BOH whole 3. This means H3BO3 and HBF4. Okay. Next question is question number 36. The ion or ions that exhibit only charge transfer bands. Okay, no DD transition, nothing, only charge transfer bands in the spectra of UV visible region is or are. Now you see 4 options are there. One option number A is chromium C2O4 oxalator whole 3 minus, chromium O4 2 minus, ReO4 minus, and nickel O2 2 minus. So chromium here 3 into 2 6 minus 3 plus 3 oxidation state. Here chromium plus 6 oxidation state. Rhenium is in plus 7 oxidation state, and nickel is in plus 2 oxidation state. So for chromium 3 plus, chromium we know that the total number of outer orbital electrons or valence electron is 2 plus 4 plus 2, that is 6. Okay, 2 is in 4s orbital and 4 is in 3d orbital. So chromium 3 means 3d 3. Chromium 6 means 3d 0. Rhenium 7 means it lies in the manganese group. So rhenium 7 is 5d 0, and nickel 2 means 3d 8. So amongst these 4, okay, only rhenium and chromium, they both of them have no d electrons, and we know that O2 minus can act as donating group, and it can take part in the ligand to metal, here ligand to metal charge transfer, ligand to metal charge transfer happen. Okay, and that ligand to metal charge transfer, the intensity of the ligand to metal charge transfer increases, or the ligand to metal charge transfer means ligand giving electron to the metal vacant orbital. So as much as the oxidation number is high for any metal and it has less d electron in the d orbital, so ligand to metal charge transfer will be more for those transition metal atom, and only having charge transfer bands means there will be no d electron for any possibility of dd transition when you excite your molecule with electromagnetic radiation. Okay, so if there is no d electron in the d orbital, there is no chance for dd transition. Only charge transfer transition can happens, and due to the ligand to metal charge transfer, here oxide ion to metal center. And for rhenium and chromium, only They both of them have no d or d electron, so only we can see the charge transfer bands for them. So both B and C are correct option.